Hi guys, it's James from the Lore Masters, and we finally have the full set. So I'm going to be doing a review, so there's going to be one video every single day. It's going to be split up into 6. And today we are going to be starting with Amber. So there's 34 cards in every single element, and I'm going to go through them one by one and tell you whether they are competitively viable or whether they're just pack filler. So let's kind of get into it. So I've left the foil on, so you get to look at the pretty pictures while I'm kind of going through the set review. So first up is 4-drop Ariel, 3 attack, 4 toughness with 2 lore points, and this character can't exert to sing songs. There is nothing particularly special about this card. She fits into the Princess Tribal deck, but I don't honestly think that deck is going to be particularly good, and this isn't particularly one of the better princesses anyway, so I think you could probably skip this one. Okay, so we've got 3-drop Ariel, Spectacular Singer. So she's got Singer 5. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a song card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So you need to be playing enough songs in your deck to make this consistent. If you're not continuously hitting the song off the top 4, you aren't playing enough songs. Whether your deck is going to be good with a deck full of songs, I honestly don't know. But if you aren't playing enough that you aren't hitting one in the top 4, this card is not worth an inclusion. If you build around her, she'll be good. If you don't, then she's going to be pretty mediocre. Definitely worth playing if you can run enough songs. So here's one of the ones we didn't know about. So it's 4-drop Cinderella, Gentle and Kind, 2 attack, 5 toughness. She has Singer 5 and has the ability A Wonderful Dream. You can exert her to remove up to 3 damage from chosen princess character. So obviously this deck is supposed to fit into the princess archetype as well. Her Singer 5 is not that relevant, she's already a 4-drop. Her stat line's pretty good. And she has the ability to heal one of your princesses, so you probably want to put it into like a mid-range sort of princess deck. So you can kind of attack into your opponent's things and then heal them with the Cinderella. Obviously exerting her so she's not questing or attacking herself is quite expensive to do. She's one of the better princesses, I would say, but like I say, I don't think the princess archetype is going to be very competitively viable anyway. Okay, so is Goofy Musketeer. So he's a 5-drop, 3 attack, 6 toughness with Bodyguard. When you play this character, you may remove up to 2 damage from each of your Musketeer characters. So the Musketeers are quite fun. I would say that they're only a casual deck though. If you remove one of the Musketeer pieces from the board, the rest of them generally kind of fall apart. But if your opponent can't deal with them, then they will soon kind of take over the board. Like I say, they're quite a fun sort of casual deck. The other 2 Musketeers are in Steel, so you are forced to play it as Amber Steel. But, you know, fortunately, there are a lot of good cards in both of those colours anyway. Right, Hades, King of Olympus. So 8-drop, uninkable. Has Shift 6, so you can pay 6 ink to put it on top of one of your Hades. It gains 1 lore for each other villain character you have in play. Again, very fun for a casual deck, like a villain deck. Probably Amethyst Amber is where you want to go with it, because that seems to be where most of the villains are. But you could probably play it with other colours too. It is not competitively viable. Don't play it. It's a pure casual fun deck. Okay, so we've got 4-drop Hades. So again, he's uninkable, 3 attack, 2 toughness. When you play this character, return a character card from your discard to your hand, has 1 lore point as well. Very good card, very good recursion, allows you to continually use your characters over and over. If you've got one of these in the discard pile, you can loop the 2 together, so you'll never run out of characters. But I recommend kind of running at least 2 copies in any Amber deck you play. Just because that recursion is nice. So Hey Hey Boat Snack. So 1 attack, 2 toughness, 1-drop with support. The only place that you'd probably play this deck is in a Stitch Rockstar build. Other than that, I probably wouldn't give it a second look. It's up to you whether you've kind of got space for this as a 1-drop in that deck. Right, so LeFou, Bumbler. 1 attack, 2 toughness, 2-drop. If you have a character named Gaston in play, you can pay 1 less ink to play this character. He's got 2 lore points. The Gastons in the set aren't particularly wonderful. They also are not the right colours to put with Amber, in my opinion. So chances are this card is not actually worth using yet until we get a better Gaston. But if in a pinch, you could put him in a Stitch Rockstar deck as well, just because he is worth 2 lore points. Okay, so we've got 1-drop Lilo. Again, she's uninkable. 1/1 with 2 lore points. Again, good for Stitch Rockstar. Not so sure in anything else, because you'd have to play a lot of bodyguards to protect her. And even then, just any little bit of damage will just kind of get rid of her. So she is worth playing in a dedicated build, but if you're just running Amber, not necessarily. Okay, Maximus. So this is a super rare. So it's a 5-drop, 4 attack, 5 toughness with bodyguard and support as well. This character is a good target for just in time if you did want to play that. But overall, it's a pretty average character anyway. Its stat line is good and its abilities are good. I just don't think it has the right shell to be that impactful. I guess time will see, but I would say this card is pretty average at best. Okay, it brings us on to the other Maximus. So it has the ability, when you play this character, chosen character gets -2 attack this turn. Pretty average card. Snow Right as a combat trick. It's control your temper on a body, basically. I wouldn't say it's particularly good, though. I think you probably will want to play other things, but yeah, it's a pretty average card at best. 3-drop Mickey Mouse. It's a 3 attack, 3 toughness, 2 lore. Has no ability. These are just pack filler, so you can probably just skip this one. Right, okay, so we've got 2-drop Minnie Mouse, so 2 attack, 3 toughness with no ability. She is a princess, so fits into the princess archetype. She is also a 2-drop for Stitch Rockstar if you needed some more 2-drops with a little bit more toughness. But other than that, she doesn't do anything else, so pretty average card. So Moana, so he's kind of the queen of the princess deck, should we say. So she's a 5-drop. When this character quests, you may ready your other princess characters. They can't quest for the rest of the turn. So very handy if you can get a board of princesses to kind of quest, then use Moana to untap them, and then they can attack or sing songs, whatever you want to be. So it does kind of interact with the Cinderella that we saw earlier, because you can heal, and then you can use Moana to quest, then untap her, and then she can either attack or heal again if you really wanted to. But yeah, if you're playing princess, you're playing this card. But yeah, like I say, the princess deck as a whole is pretty underwhelming. It may see some play, may even have some competitive success, but it's not quite there yet in my opinion. Okay, so Smee is a 3-drop, 2 attack, 5 toughness, so it's got a large toughness stat for a 3-drop, 1 lore point, but other than that, this is nothing special. It doesn't combo with anything. It's just a slightly higher toughness vanilla card. Okay, Prince Philip. When this character challenges and is banished, you may banish the challenged character. So don't confuse this with cards like Cruella de Vil or Cheshire Cat. This card has to be doing the attacking, and then kind of lose the challenge to banish something in it. So it would be fine if this card was inkable, because then it would be a bit more playable, but if you're choosing this as one of your uninkable cards, I think you're probably doing something wrong. If you're expecting to be facing a lot of decks which use big characters that you think you're going to get value from this card, fine. But in all honesty, the fact that he can just be removed before he can use his ability is probably not great. So you probably want to skip this one, but you know, he has some uses, he's just not wonderful. Okay, so Pumbaa. So he's a 4-drop, 3 attack, 5 toughness with 1 lore point, has no ability, nothing special about this card, doesn't combo with anything. You know, just Pumbaa. Who doesn't like Pumbaa? But yeah, there's nothing much to say on this one. It's just a decent statted card with no effect. Okay, which brings us on to Legendary Rapunzel. So it has the ability, when you play this character, remove up to 3 damage from one of your characters, draw a card for each 1 damage removed this way. Very, very good draw power, because you can attack something in, get it to take 3 damage, but still survive, and then play this card, heal 3 damage from it, and then draw 3 cards. That is a lot of draw power for 1 card. I don't think there is anything else other than a whole new world that can draw that many cards all at once. So it's very useful. If you're playing a lot of cards with a high toughness stat, you can just you can just heal them, draw that many cards. It's quite a scary card itself. Not got a huge attack stat with only 1, but 2 lore points as well. But yeah, if you're using Amber, you'll probably want to be using 4 copies of this. Very solid card. Okay, Sebastian 2-drop, Court Composer, 2 attack, 2 toughness with Singer 4. It's not a very good card. It's got some niche use because of the Singer 4, but you can probably skip this one. Even in a dedicated Singer deck with Ariel, it's not very good. Okay, Simba 2-drop, so it has Bodyguard, 2 attack, 3 toughness. Can be used in a Stitch Rockstar deck. Can be used to protect the 1-drop Lilo, so you can quest away with it for a few turns. But it's just kind of nice. Like I say, in a Stitch Rockstar deck, you can play it because it does protect your other smaller guys from being attacked, and you still get the draw from the Stitch Rockstar. Other than that, it's probably not got much use. Okay, so Stitch Carefree Surfer. When you play this character, if you have 2 or more characters in play, you may draw 2 cards. Very, very solid card. So if you are playing Amber, you'll want to be using this card because you're going to get to the point late in the game where you're probably going to be running out of cards because you're inking every single turn. You can combo this with Lantern to get it down a turn earlier. But yeah, you just want to kind of play it when you've got a few characters on board, draw 2. It's got massive stat line to it. 4 attack and 5 toughness. 8 toughness is huge. So yeah, you definitely want to be running copies of it. And the fact that it's inkable as well, you can ink it early if you don't need it, and then play it when you're running low on resources. Very, very solid card. Okay, so Stitch New Dog. So 1-drop, 2/2. You use it with Stitch Rockstar, so you can play your Rockstar Stitch with Shift as early as turn 3 when you have Lantern on board. You need to be playing this with the Stitch Rockstar deck, so it's kind of an auto-inclusion, so it's a good card. So yeah, just play it with Stitch Rockstar. Speaking of the devil, so Stitch Rockstar, Shift 4, so you can pay 4 ink to put it on top of one of your Stitch. When you play a character with cost 2 or less, you may exert them to draw a card. So with that 1-drop Stitch and Lantern, you can play this as early as turn 3, which is very good. But yeah, this is a whole deck archetype on its own. You play this card with lots of 2-drop or less characters that get decent value. Exert them, draw a card, fill up your board, hope your opponent can't answer it. But very, very cool card. I think it's going to see a lot of play when we finally have the cards in our hand. Right, Timon. So it's a 1-drop, 1 attack, 2 toughness. Have the ability, when you play this character, you may remove up to 1 damage from chosen character. So very good, again, in a Stitch Rockstar deck, because you can use it to heal your characters, especially your Rockstar Stitch, just to keep it nice and healthy, so your opponent can't get rid of it. Other than that, I probably wouldn't use it in any other Amber deck. But yes, it's got some uses, for sure. Then Be Our Guest, so a character who costs 2 can sing the song for free. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a character card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Nice card to find your combo pieces. Nice card to hit off the aerial as well. You're going to be running a lot of characters in your deck, so the chances of this missing are extremely low. But it's just a solid card as well, and the fact it's inkable as well is all good. So yeah, rate this card, like it. Control Your Temper, so 1 ink, and it's an action card. Chosen character gets -2 attack this turn. This is pack filler. It's garbage. Don't play it. It's not worth it. If you really want to reduce your opponent's attack so you can do combat tricks, play the 3-drop Maximus, but even then I wouldn't even recommend doing that. Hakuna Matata, so it's a 4-cost song. Character costs 4 or more can sing the song free. Remove up to 3 damage from each of your characters. The chances of you getting massive amounts of value from this is pretty low. Having to have all your characters damaged and getting a full heal off it, sounds great on paper. Chance of it happening, very, very low. So I wouldn't even bother putting this in your deck. But yeah, it's a cool looking card, but it's not worth it. It's not worth playing. Okay, Healing Glow, 1-drop, remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. Again, not worth playing. Any cards that don't generate card advantage or, you know, accelerate your board state or anything like that generally aren't worth playing because they are a -1 in terms of card advantage, and that fits that exact bill. Again, don't play it, not worth it. So just in time, this card creates a whole archetype on its own, so you pair it with some of the best 5+ drops in the game. Sorry, 5+ drops, 5 cost or less drops in the game. And you get to do some cool combos because you get to drop them 2 turns early, which can be quite nasty if your opponent cannot answer them. So there's a lot of cards with either high lore points or high stat points or things like that. I think this card is going to see a lot of play just because you can cheat some good cards into it. So we'll kind of bear this card in mind as we're going through the rest of the set, and whether we can pair it with it just to kind of make a cool little combo. So part of your world. A character of cost 3 or more can sing this song for free. Return a character card from your discard to your hand. Very fringe playable in an aerial deck. If you really need more songs to put into the aerial deck, you can play this. But the fact it's uninkable, and you could already play Hades, which is this on a body basically, it's not worth playing. Okay, so You Have Forgotten Me. 4-drop action card. Each player chooses and discards 2 cards. I feel like this card is in the wrong colour. It should probably be in green, because that seems to be where all the discard is. Usable if you are down, if this is your last card in your hand, because you basically get to discard your opponent for 2. But going down to 0 cards in hand is probably not a good idea, especially in Amber. So it's probably not worth playing, but you know, it's a cool little card anyway. But the fact is, an action card, you are spending 4 ink to basically discard 2 from each other. So unless, like I say, you are empty-handed, it's not worth playing. So Dinglehopper, 1-drop item. Exert it to remove up to 1 damage from chosen character. In a dedicated item build, may be worth using, but in all honesty, it probably isn't. It honestly feels like pack filler, even though it is only 1 ink. Removing up to 1 damage is rarely relevant, so you can probably give this one a skip as well. So Lantern, so you can exert it, you pay 1 less ink for the next character you play. Very solid card, allows you to play your characters a turn early. They do stack as well, so if you have multiple lanterns on board, it discounts it by that many lanterns. Do recommend playing 4 copies if you are playing a heavy character based strategy. And you're not already running a lot of uninkables, because yeah, it is uninkable unfortunately. Very solid card, recommend it. It means that you can put a lot more threats down a lot faster. And Ursula's Necklace. So whenever you play a song, you may pay 1 ink to draw a card. So again, in a dedicated song deck with Ariel, it is good, because you have to be playing a lot of songs to make it work, so it just naturally kind of works in that particular deck. Other than that, it's okay. It just allows you to keep your hand nice and full when you are playing the songs. Okay, so that is the full Amber set in a nutshell. So stay tuned, make sure we subscribe as well, because I'm going to be dropping a different video every single day for the rest of the elements. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe. Cheers guys, bye.